let other people join. कौन आया है जल्दी बताओ. Today's lecture is going to be amazing. Trust me, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hello, am I audible to all of you? Hey folks, hey AB, hi. जल्दी जितने भी लोग आए सबसे पहले वीडियो लाइक करो as soon as possible. We want to make it as much possible, as much viral as possible. Amazing. और कौन आया जल्दी बताओ. We'll wait. अभी तो 12:01 हुए हैं. Let's wait for 2-3 more minutes. And I have a bunch of announcements that I have to make today. तो वो हम करेंगे. पहले आप बताते रहो कौन आया. Mayank is here. Mayank Parashar is here. Siddharth Rajde is here. AB is here. Who else is here? जल्दी बताओ. Amazing. I want. Who else is here? Okay, Nitya is here. Hi Nitya. Nitya, I really would want to thank you for all your posts. Super lovely. Thank you very much for being so kind in mentioning that I have helped you somehow. But सब कुछ आपकी अपनी ही खुद का effort है. I'm glad. But just keep consistent, and I think we'll learn some very amazing things going forward. Right? Hi Anshuman. Very nice to meet you, man. Hi Ishan. Very nice to meet you. Super amazing. Hi Swapnil. Very cool, yeah. Very cool. I see more people have joined in. Okay. Who else is there? बताओ यार, शुरू के 3-4 मिनट ऐसे ही होते हैं. ठीक है, फिर मुझे कुछ अनाउंसमेंट्स करनी है, तो अभी मैं आई विल जस्ट डू देम आफ्टर 30 more seconds. I want some more people also to join in. Hi Frank. Very nice to meet you, man. How are you doing? Amazing. Hi Sandeep. Very nice to meet you, yaar. Very nice to meet you. Very nice to see you here. जितने भी लोग हैं जल्दी से जल्दी वीडियो लाइक करो as soon as possible, and we are going to start in another 10 seconds. ठीक है? We will do that. जितने भी लोग हैं, please, it's a request from my side. Go and like the video. This is going to be an amazing video. Awesome. तो यार 3-4 चीजें हैं जिनको सुन के you will be insanely very happy. ठीक है? The first thing that I am going to talk about is not something that you will be happy. Next week lecture नहीं होगा. Hi Krishna, very nice to meet you. Next week lecture नहीं होगा क्योंकि I am flying to Kazakhstan. ठीक है, तो I will not be on Saturday Sunday. मैं 5 दिन के लिए I am going there for an event. Hi Aryan, very nice to meet you, man. ठीक है, तो I am going there for 5 days. So next week there will not be a lecture, but I'll give you an assignment, most probably, which you guys have to do. The second interesting thing that I'm going to tell you today is that I have created a free course for all of you people, right? Of all my LinkedIn posts. Should I show it? Should I present that course to you? It will be completely free. उसमें कुछ भी कोई cost नहीं है, and it's a very well structured course. Should I show it a glimpse of that, and I will make it live on LinkedIn for everyone to consume? अगर सबको वो देखना है तो just write yes in the chat. If you just want to see the course that I want to make live for everyone, completely free of cost. ₹1 नहीं देना है, कुछ भी नहीं है, बहुत. It's just a structure of the LinkedIn post that I have done. ठीक है, so let me just quickly showcase it across. Awesome. So let me just share my screen. Give me a second. WhatsApp कहाँ गया? WhatsApp. Where is WhatsApp? ये रहा WhatsApp. ठीक है, अब हम यहाँ पे जाएंगे and we will quickly search for Kamal. ठीक है, is my screen visible to all of you? हाँ, दिख रही है. Very cool. तो यार, are you able to see this? अरे, ये तो कुछ और ही हो गया. They have, अच्छा sorry, not this one. This is the one. Yeah. ठीक है. Is everybody able to see this? Give me a yes in the chat if everybody is able to see this. Give me a just yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat, guys. If everybody is able to see this, तो आपको दिख रहा है यहाँ पे सब कुछ? Amazing. इसके अंदर सारे चैप्टर्स हैं. पहला चैप्टर है starting out as a PM. Second is top insights. Third is careers in PMs. Fourth is my PM stories, right? Fifth is startup and legacy companies. Sixth is life lessons. So if you click on starting out as a PM, you'll see bunch of posts. Developing first principles, product markets, whatever you want to. अब मान लो आपने किसी post पे click किया. You click here and here you get the description and you also get a link of my post. कि मैंने बेसिकली क्या पोस्ट लिखी थी. Make sense? Does this make sense to all of you? Is it amazing? And it is completely, आप किसी भी जगह जाओगे, you'll find insane number of posts where you can go through and completely learn. Is this amazing? Yeah. Amazing, amazing. Stop sharing. I'll go back to StreamYard again. ठीक है? I'll just add to the screen. बहुत बढ़िया यार, बहुत बढ़िया. तो ये मैं सबको तभी दूंगा जो लोग फाइट मारेंगे. ये कंप्लीटली फ्री है, लेकिन उन्हीं के लिए है जो फाइट मारेंगे. दैट्स द फर्स्ट अनाउंसमेंट. सो इज एवरीबॉडी हैप्पी? गिव मी अ यस इन द चैट. Give me a yes in the chat. Is everybody happy? So I will give this course completely to everyone who puts genuine efforts. ठीक है? That's one. The second announcement that I'm going to do today is that I am going to build a community. ठीक है? अब वो community mostly in the next 2 weeks ready होगी. Next 2 weeks ready होगी and you will be able to attend all the lectures that I essentially put across. Everything will be there and you have to share it with as many of your friends as possible. That's the second thing that I am going to put across. उसकी भी announcement मैं LinkedIn पे करूंगा. And the third thing that is going to be insanely amazing is that across all my lectures which I have taught, there are people who have actually done assignments. So I have more than 200, 300 assignments across different problems, across different verticals done by different people across, right? So what I'll essentially do is I'll give across all those things specifically for free in a form of a course so that you also have actionable structures in portfolios. Is this fun? Give me a yes or no in the chat. Is this fun? Give me just yes in the chat. ये announcements clear हैं. Next week video नहीं होगा. That's one. Second, I'm going to launch a course completely free, full of all my LinkedIn posts. That's going to be second most amazing thing. And the third most amazing thing is a community will get launched. Fourth most amazing thing, which is going to happen is that I'm going to complete all of those assignments which have been sent across to me and give them across to you completely free of cost for you to structure across. बहुत बढ़िया यार, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. So should we start the lecture then? Should we start? Are we ready? Please share the lecture with all your friends जिनके साथ भी आपको share करना है. Tell them to join. This is going to be amazing. चलो ठीक है. तो यार आज का हमारा lecture बहुत ही interesting है. So whenever we start any problem in product management, right? The first thing that we essentially do is to understand the problem space and the solution space, right? Now, how many of you know what's a problem space? Can somebody tell me what's problem space? Please let me know. जल्दी से जल्दी बताओ कि what is your answer on this question? What is problem space? I want answers. देखो यार, one sided session करने का कोई मतलब नहीं है. Can somebody tell me what is problem space? जल्दी. I need responses ASAP. Come on. Fast. What is problem space? What is problem space? I am repeating the question. What is problem space? Okay, customer. So Vaishnavi is saying customer pain points we are targeting. Ishan Pradhan is saying why the customer is built. AB is mostly the problem statement and the requirement. Okay, fair enough. What else? Jaldi batao. I want it to be a faster answer, right? So देखो, problem space basically means where questions like what is the problem? Who is your problem segment? Who are you solving it for? Right? They reside. Solutions don't reside in problem space. Solutions essentially means there is a particular benefit or a particular pain point which essentially has to get solved. That comes out from the solution space, right? So problem space is the place where, for example, the problem resides, right? Like, for example, if I tell you build a system, build a tuition class structure for people to effectively have access to secondary education, I don't know the answer, I just know the problem statement. Does that make sense? ठीक है. अब प्रोडक्ट डिस्कवरी कहां से आती है? तो बेसिकली इफ वी इफेक्टिवली वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रॉब्लम स्पेस वेल, वी डू थिंग्स लाइक प्रॉब्लम डिस्कवरी और प्रोडक्ट डिस्कवरी. मेक सेंस? यहां तक क्लैरिटी है? गिव मी अ यस इन द चैट. जस्ट गिव मी अ यस 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 इन द चैट. ASAP, give me a yes in the chat. Just jaldi jaldi jaldi. I want answers ASAP. Give me a yes in the chat. yahan tak clarity hai where all the problems or the user pain points, they reside in the problem space. They don't reside in the solution space. Clarity? Awesome. अब क्या होता है यार, I just want you to first understand what allows a product to survive in a market or a system. ठीक है? तो हमें सबसे पहले सोचना चाहिए कि एक प्रोडक्ट सर्वाइव क्यों करता है. Why does a product survive, right? There are three essential things which I've learned in my experience of the last 9 years. So this entire lecture is going to be a story, right? And we'll run it like a story, right? So the first thing that I realized, that one of the great things about people around me was that I had always had a team who was dedicated to the problem and unfazed by challenges, technical or otherwise, right? So most of the people around me had a very high talent density, and they were not really afraid of getting any technical challenge. Ki, how will this get solved at 10 million users? How will this get solved at 50 million users? Actually, no one was unfazed. And we were very critical about this, that whether in Flipkart, whether in Blackbug, whether in Times Group, whether in Edureka, whether in Baiju, whether in Bhanzu, we always had bunch of people who were unfazed by technical challenges, saying that we don't care, let the problem come, we will understand the problem, and if it has value for the user, we'll figure out a solution. Okay? Second, we never spent a lot of money. Most product managers make a lot of mistake. They think कि MVP के time पे ही अगर मैं बहुत पैसा लगा दूंगा तो शायद I will be able to build a great product. We never did that. So I'll give you a very good example. So basically when Groupon started, right? So most of the Groupon ka model, everybody, how many of you know what Groupon's model was? Can somebody tell me what Groupon's model? Groupon was started by Rocket Internet, right? What was the model of Groupon? Can somebody tell me कि Groupon कैसे काम करता था? ASAP, just tell me ASAP how Groupon used to work. So they had a coupon based model. So basically what you do, you essentially get a coupon and you put it across in a restaurant somewhere and you will get discounts on top of that. Very simple, like Zomato Gold and stuff like that. But one problem they essentially faced, right? The fundamental problem that they essentially faced was that whenever they took a coupon, now you don't have, you necessarily, if you take a coupon, it doesn't mean that you'll go to the restaurant the very same day. Doesn't work like that, right? So you probably would go to the restaurant at a time when your family would be essentially okay with it, right? But whenever they used to go to a restaurant, what they used to realize was that the restaurant was already booked, the restaurant was already filled, right? They couldn't use it at that point because at that time the capacity of the restaurant was completely filled. So what they essentially did? Nothing. They just opened a Google form, asked the customer, when would you ideally want to use this coupon? Koi development nahi, koi kuch nahi. The moment somebody accesses a coupon, just open a page, ask what is the most ideal time for you to use this coupon, when do you want to use it? They solved the problem 80%. Yes, there will be 20% people who will change plans and stuff like that. So they never spent a dime of money. That's the second great thing which allows a product to survive. The third thing, which is very, very important, was their belief or their ego was highly tied to the product, right? What you need to essentially here understand is that fundamentally, you should not do product management just because it's a cool point on your resume. कि यार I am a product manager, अच्छा लगता है मेरे resume पे, कोई सुनेगा तो बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. Never works like that. The fundamental thesis that you need to understand here is that your ego should be highly tied to the success of the product. Success of the product. Success of the product means success of the user. Whenever I worked in any company, right, I never thought ki yaar ki it's okay, I am at a great role, I don't really care. I always used to believe my responsibility or my outcomes of salary, wealth, knowledge will be an outcome of my effort that I put if the product is successful, right? So three most important points. One, if you truly want your product to survive, first, you should be unfazed by challenges, however technical or otherwise they are. So you should always try to work with people who are equally driven. So try to join a company where you essentially have conversations with a lot of people, understand how they think about things, right? Second, if a product initially itself is spending a lot of money without any core problem discovery, I'm sorry, it won't work, right? Third, your belief or your ego should be highly tied to the product, saying that it's not a cool point on my resume, it's the only good thing I am doing right now, and I need to make it successful, right? When that will happen, tab aapke paas koi fallback hi nahi hai na. You cannot say ki okay, I'll fall back and I'll go back to some other job. Doesn't work. If you say that there is no fallback here, I would essentially build a product which essentially has to be successful, and I will consistently iterate if it doesn't fall under the same lines. Yahan tak clarity hai. Is everybody aligned with me till now? What allows a product to survive in the market? Yes, yes, yes लिख दो chat में, और like करो जिसने वीडियो अभी तक like नहीं किया है. ठीक है, जल्दी जल्दी लिखो. We will move forward. We have a lot of things to cover today, and I just want our session to be very structured. ठीक है, यहां तक clarity है? Amazing. Ankit is amazing, very amazing. Ankit, thank you very much. Awesome. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले we will go into the discovery problems. The first question I generally pose product managers whenever they come to me कि श्रवण हमें ये बनाना है, श्रवण we want to build this, श्रवण we want, I ask them the first question: what problem are you solving? What problem are you solving? Okay, ठीक है. So if this is the question, right, now the first principle that comes here is, if the product manager is not, or the entrepreneur or the founder is not able, can I ask them a sub point, asking them, can you state the problem clearly, right? If a product manager or a founder is not able to state the problem correctly in 2 sentences at max, right, they don't know what problem they are solving. I'm sorry, this is the truth. If you cannot state your problem that you are effectively going to solve in less than 2 statements, I am sorry, you don't know the problem, right? Like, can somebody tell me what was the problem statement Uber tried to solve? I want answers in the chat. What was the problem statement? Think like a product manager of Uber and say, what problems was I trying to solve? Tell me that. What would be the problem that Uber was trying to solve? So the first question I ask people is, can you state the problem clearly in 2 sentences or less, right? Can somebody tell me what was the problem statement that Uber was trying to solve? Jaldi batao. Give me fast responses to this. ASAP. Nitya, Samruddhi, Ankit, somebody has to answer. See, jaldi. Let me know. Right? Okay. So Sandeep is saying people getting cabs at fair price. Fair enough. Manual effort for user to go and creating an interface between. That's not a problem. People actually, the only problem that I think is Sandeep has stated in a certain way. The fundamental problem statement was that, can I get almost 100% availability and an economical price for a transportation mechanism? As simple as that. How do I do it? When do I do it? What do I build later? Can I get a transportation mechanism where I have 100% availability and an economical price? Ye clarity hai? Make sense? The second big problem from a discovery perspective that I always feel that customers always have, most product managers, उन्होंने खुद ही प्रॉब्लम फेस नहीं की होती है. So if you have you experienced it yourself? How many of you have genuinely experienced, go back 5 years, the cab problem, ki cab nahi milti time pe? How, give me a yes, 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 who have faced the cab wala problem, right? Give me a yes, 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 across. Who has faced the cab wala problem? That's the second question I ask from a discovery perspective. Ki, have you faced the problem yourself? How many of you have faced it yourself? Amazing. So that's the second question. Amazing. Third question that I generally ask is, can you define this problem narrowly? What I mean by that is, one of the another problems I face when product managers do a lot of discovery is that if I ask them, can you define the problem narrowly, right? Tell me about the people who you can address first. They end up saying everybody is our customer. Everybody who wants a cab is our customer, right? That is a very big problem. Nitya, everybody, Vaishnavi, Ankit, Arnav, Samruddhi, Manik, Sandeep. If you can't define the problem narrowly, that is also a problem. Narrowly का क्या मतलब होता है? Narrowly का मतलब होता है I cannot build a product for everybody in the market. So I have to understand who is the most desperate customer who I need to address first. So let me ask you this question. You are building an Uber wala app, right? Now you realized you have to launch it in 2 cities. One is Bangalore. Second city is Dharampur in Himachal Pradesh. Where would you launch? Where would you launch? One city is Dharampur in Himachal Pradesh, some tier 3 city, and one is Bangalore. Where would you launch? Would you launch the Uber app initially to get traction in Bangalore, or would you launch it in Dharampur? Give me an answer. Bangalore. समृद्धि मैंने मुंबई तो पूछा ही नहीं था. समृद्धि कह रही मेरे घर में ले आओ किसी तरीके से. चलो कोई बात नहीं. But why do you say कि Bangalore में होना चाहिए? Can somebody tell me why Bangalore? No, customer footfall, though, density is still. I think the problem there is most people, correct. So most people have to understand that the first set of customers that reach out to you should be effectively very desperate, right? They should say that even if your product is shitty, whatever value that you are giving me to me, right? It is enough for me to use. राइट मैं आपको एक और छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूं. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हर्ड ऑफ दिस प्लेटफॉर्म कॉल्ड ट्विच? ट्विच के बारे में किसने सुना है? ट्विच. तो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू इफेक्टिवली हर्ड ऑफ दिस स्टेटमेंट कॉल्ड ट्विच? ट्विच के बारे में किसने सुना है? यस, ठीक है. डू यू नो हाउ ट्विच स्टार्टेड? सो देयर वाज दिस स्टार्टअप कॉल्ड जस्टिन टीवी. Justin TV basically क्या करता था? It used to allow creators to stream their videos, like I am streaming my videos, right? Now, what they essentially saw that the Justin TV was actually built for influencers and streaming and stuff like that, right? They realized that over time, over 3-4 years of building Justin TV, they realized 20% of their customers were always gamers. And they never built features for gamers. They never did. But yet they used to come back and say we have to use it. So what does it tell you? It tells you that the product had enough value that the customers, they knew that features have not been built for them, but they still wanted to use it because they were so desperate in the problem. And they essentially, then the Twitch founders started talking to the gamers and they actually built a $10 billion company just because they understood, right? So the third statement that we have to talk about is, can you define this problem narrowly? Who would be my first set of customers who essentially I want to address? Make sense? Fourth thing is the problem solvable? Right? Like, I'll give you another example. So there is this very famous startup called Poppy, which used to happen. Okay, so Poppy ka jo founder tha, he essentially said that I want to build basically a marketplace for nannies. Nannies samajh to kya? Babysitters. It's a YC funded startup, right? So they said that we will build a basically app. Like for example, if how many of you are parents or is married or something, or who has kids in their house? Give me a yes or no. So essentially what they wanted to solve for was that can they build a platform for babysitters? right? Now the problem kya hai wahan pe? The problem is not that they cannot book a babysitter. The problem was that the consumers for which you wanted to solve a problem, right, it was very hard for them to trust someone they didn't know 15 minutes back, right? On the contrary, they actually recommended people who were nannies, jinka yahi kaam hota hai, right? So they effectively wanted to bring those people on board who have been a background in nannies, right? Now nanny ka behavior to kabhi aisa hota hi nahi hai. Nannies are generally in houses for the entire day, so they cannot work as a babysitter, right? But customers will only trust nannies because they have experience in handling children, right? A problem ho gayi na. The user persona, right, which effectively helped you solve the problem, right, does not behave the way you want it to behave, right? Even if you bring other babysitters who don't have experience as nannies, then there's a problem. Customers won't trust you because they don't have that kind of credentials. So the fourth problem that I effectively talk about is that, is the problem even solvable? राइट? यहां तक क्लैरिटी है? अगर सबको समझ में आया तो लिखो जय श्री राम. यार तुम सब लोग भी मेरा मजाक उड़ाते होगे, यार ये पढ़ाने आता है कि ये मस्ती करने आता है, बट ठीक है, लिखो भाई जय श्री राम. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, चलो आगे चलते हैं. ठीक है, बहुत बढ़िया वैष्णवी, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. ठीक है. द सेकेंड क्वेश्चन दैट आई एसेंशियली आस्क मोस्ट entrepreneur. The first question क्या था हमारा, हम वापस जाएंगे, what problem are you solving? ठीक है. The second question that I essentially ask customers is, or product managers is, who is your customer, right? Most people don't have an answer to this. Trust me, they don't have an answer to this. They have zero clarity, right? Acha, can I give another example of the fourth? So Samruddhi is saying, can I give another example of the fourth point? Okay. Let me give you another very interesting example. How many of you have used this platform called Cars24 or Droom.com or all of these platforms? How many of you have used this? Cars24, Droom, etc. ABCD. किसने यूज किया है? किसने यूज किया है? कभी तो किया ही होगा ना. Bike24 to buy a bike, etc. Whatever it is, right? How many of you used it? Give me a yes, yes, yes in the chat. I am Sandeep. I am giving one more example. So listen to this clearly. So I am giving one more example of, is the problem solvable? ठीक है? How many of you has used Cars24? हाँ, मतलब वही same. Ishan is saying OLX, same thing. मतलब everybody where you can buy or purchase cars. Now let me ask this question. आपका प्लेटफॉर्म बहुत ही अच्छा है, तो कैन समबडी टेल मी व्हाई Cars24 और OLX इज एसेंशियली यूज्ड? आई वांट टू सी हाउ यू थिंक. ठीक है. तो essentially assume that you built a great product, you built an amazing product, right? And somebody bought a car. Agreed? यहां तक समझ में आई? अब मुझे एक चीज बताओ, when is the next time he is going to come on the platform, he or she is going to come on the platform? When is that particular person? Assume you built a great product, somebody actually bought a car, everything happened, everybody was happy. What is the next time the customer is going to come to Cars24? Exactly. So Mayank is saying 5 years, Nitya is saying 5 years, right? तो मुझे एक चीज बताओ, ये प्रॉब्लम कार खरीदने की है कि एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम फ्रीक्वेंट किसके लिए होती है? कार बेचने वाले के लिए होती है. सो द प्रोडक्ट हैज टू बी मेड फॉर पीपल हु वांट टू सेल कार्स, नॉट बाय कार्स. बाय कार्स तो उसका आउटकम है. बात समझ में आई? सो आई वुड इसेंशियली बिल्ड स्ट्रक्चर्स through which I can make my car lucrative and I could sell it to the users, because there are hundreds of people who want to sell cars every day. But how many people essentially buy a car today and then come back the next month? तो effectively तुम्हारा product तो कोई use ही नहीं है उसका, right? So if Cars24 actually built a product, right, for people to essentially buy cars, right, then they're doing a wrong thing. They actually build discovery and features and whatever and whatnot. But actually Cars24 is a platform for people to sell things, not essentially selling is their primary customer, not essentially purchase is an outcome of the primary behavior that they're seeing. यहां तक clarity clear आई? यहां तक बात समझ में आई? समृद्धि, did you understand what I'm saying? Is the problem solvable? कि अगर मैं उस तरह solve करने की कोशिश करता, if I would have tried to redesign the problem the other way around in Cars 24, I would have never built a business. Make sense? ये बात clear है? Amazing. Amazing. बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. ठीक है, तो आगे चलें. Can we move forward? Amazing. So the next question that I essentially ask people is, who is your customer? ठीक है. Now what happens here? Here is something very interesting happens. Most product managers end up saying, everybody is my customer. Everybody is my customer. Does that ever happen? कुछ cases में होता भी है. If you are building a social networks, right? If I am building a social network, right? Probably everybody is my customer, right? How often do they have the problem? Again, I talked about the business model of Cars 24, right? So Mayank is essentially asking, if sellers are primary, then how it will work. See, selling is something where you have to make it lucrative. Like, why do you come to listen to my lecture? Because you probably understand that there is value, right? Now, if you make my life easier, right? For example, मेरा content अपने आप बन जाए, अपने आप सारी चीजें हो जाएं, right? So you probably would be easily come by because I am selling a very good value proposition to all of you guys, right? So the second question that you essentially ask your customer is, how often do they have the problem, right? If the frequency of the problem is high, right, that means the problem is important or it is genuinely relevant. I'll give you one more example. How many of you people have realized the apps that you use on your mobile phone, right? The apps that you genuinely use, right, are generally on the first fold of the mobile phone. Is that correct? The apps which you essentially don't use are logged somewhere in a folder, somewhere, etc. So you don't essentially use them, right? So you automatically see that your behavior of usage is dependent on the fact what is more relevant to you or what is more frequent to you. Does that make sense? So you have to identify how often does my customer actually face this problem. That's correct. Third is how intense is the problem. Intensity भी बहुत important होती है. Like, for example, if you have to go from A location to B location, it's an intense problem. It's an intense problem going from. So Mayank has asked a question. I will take it towards the end, Mayank. We will have a deeper discussion around it. But let me just kind of continue. So the third thing is how intense is the problem, right? How intense is the problem? Now, if the problem is genuinely intense, like if you have to go from A location to B location, that's an intense problem. You don't solve it. You have to go there. So if something like Uber is there, you are going to use it no matter what. Because तुम्हें जाना तो है ना एक जगह से दूसरी जगह, or you'll figure out some other thing, right? That's the third thing that I try to understand in the who is my customer bucket. Is it really intense? Fourth, are they willing to pay? So I have a slightly contrary opinion here, right? Ideally, most founders or product managers end up thinking that if I'm building a product, initially I have to give it for free. लोग सोचते हैं ऐसा नहीं होता. If the problem is genuinely intense, right, you actually make it harder for customers to find value. Like, for example, if you build a Uber subscription plan and or a Swiggy subscription plan, and you know that you every time order twice a day, right? So you don't really care that if they have to pay 50 rupees extra, right? Because for the customer it will be a deal कि अरे यार मेरे को तो खाना अपने टाइम पे मिल रहा है, अपने हिसाब से अच्छी क्वालिटी का मिल रहा है, तो I am completely okay to pay them 50 rupees extra. I'm absolutely fine. ठीक है. This is the fourth part. Are they willing to pay? इसको figure out करने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका होता है actually make it harder for them to actually pay. Yes, if the problem is intense, they will pay, for example. And the fifth part is how easy it is for your customers to find you. You should ideally know where your customers exist. Like, for example, you build an app कि यार अगर कोई डेजर्ट में होगा तो वो मेरा ऐप डाउनलोड करे और उसको पानी की जरूरत पड़े तो he will just download the app and ask for water. Who is going to use it in a desert? It's not going to work that way, right? So you essentially have to start figuring it out from that perspective कि मेरे customers कहाँ पे exist करते हैं, right? Then only you can build a complete persona. Ki where do my customers actually reside? Initially, it can be a hypothesis, and slowly and steadily you can refine it across, right? So there are 5 statements. One, everyone is not your customer. Second, how often, whoever is your customer, how often do they have the problem? Can I plot it in a frequency graph, right? Third, how intense is the problem? Fourth, are they willing to pay? Fifth, how easy it is for your customers to find you. If it is not easy for your customers to find you, they will never discover you, right? Make sense? Give me a yes, yes, yes in the chat. यहां तक clarity आ गई है? यहां तक clarity, यहां तक clarity है? Give me a yes, yes, yes till now. Give me a yes, 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 yes till now. हाँ, मेरे को yes चाहिए सबका. Amazing, amazing. ठीक है? Now, the next question that I wanted to ask you was, do you really think your MVP solves the problem? Right? This one is so hilarious now. Ki yaar, it just ends up being weird, right? So lot of people think, does your MVP, can somebody give me an answer to this? Does your MVP actually solve the problem? Just give me a yes or no. Does your MVP actually solve the problem? Give me a yes or no, whatever it is that you think about. क्या आपका MVP एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करता है कि नहीं? Okay, Mayank is saying it should always solve. Fair enough. Manik is saying no. Samruddhi is saying no. Right? Kind of. ठीक है. Arnav is saying it should solve part of the problem and not it entirely. Fair enough. What else? At some extent. ठीक है. SG goes not completely. Okay. तो यार ये बहुत हिलेरियस है. देखो MVP जनरली मिनिमम वायबल प्रोडक्ट का कोर थीसिस ही यही है कि इट इज गोइंग टू बी बैड, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी गुड, राइट? नाउ द प्रॉब्लम इज मोस्ट पीपल दे स्टार्ट सेइंग कि हम एमवीपी बनाएंगे एंड बाय दैट टाइम दे स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग एन एमवीपी. इट टेक्स देम मंथ्स एंड मंथ्स. इनिशियली दे हैव स्टार्टेड विद 3 वीक्स करते करते 6 वीक्स हो जाता है, 6 वीक्स 9 वीक्स हो जाता है, 9 weeks 12 weeks हो जाता है, and eventually what they launch, they didn't even realize what they launched. right? तो उनको इसकी भी क्लैरिटी नहीं होती कि हमने बना के दिया. ठीक है? The problem there is कि whenever you design an MVP, please understand you have to build an internal deadline because it will result into scope creep, right? It will result in scope creep. What I mean by scope creep is the more you essentially elongate that deadline, the more hypotheses are going to change. I'll give you one very interesting example. तो मैं जब ब्लैकबक में था, तो we wanted to build this interesting MVP of basically एक user experience का कुछ बनाना था हमें. तो what used to happen was, अब हम 3 product managers थे because there were dependencies on like 2 other products also. And there was one very amazing coder, insanely amazing coder, right? वो बंदा इतना चिढ़ता था ना हमारे MVP के डिस्कशन से. वो क्या करता था, वो रात को 11 बजे उठता था और 11 से सुबह 7 बजे कोड करता था ताकि उनको हमारी बातें ना सुनने को मिले, और उसको फिर रिटर्न फॉर्मेट में व्हाट द प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर थॉट अबाउट दे शुड रिसीव इट. बिकॉज उनको पता था कि इनकी ये आपस में ही लड़ते रहते हैं और फिर कभी डिसाइड करते हैं हमें ये बनाना है वो बनाना है, इससे बेटर है तो कुछ बनाओ ही मत. Because what we essentially start thinking, we end up building something else, right? So what we essentially decided was we will not do this. What we will essentially do is we will give a stark deadline कि नहीं यार, and we will backtrack from there कि MVP में ये होना चाहिए, इसमें क्लैरिटी है, मैं इसके आगे नहीं जाऊंगा. उसका रीजन ये नहीं था कि मेरा MVP will be amazing. That's not the reason. The reason was that whatever I can get, ship out, will give some value and then I can iterate on top of it, right? It is really helpful to do these pre-steps, right? So that you can essentially build the MVP quickly. Typically, the longer it takes to build the MVP, problem drift or customer drift automatically hota hai, right? The best way to figure out whether your MVP is working or not is to just give it to the end users. And don't essentially be too focused on waterfall models, right? And just build it across. Don't develop scope. MVPs are by design going to be bad. It is completely okay if your MVP is bad, as long as it is giving you some sense of hypothesis validation. Make sense? Give me a yes, yes, yes in the chat. I want everybody to kind of agree to this. यहां तक क्लैरिटी है? अच्छा, what is the one problem? एक और काफी सारे लोग ना मुझे ये एग्जांपल भी देते हैं कि मोस्ट पीपल थिंक कि एमवीपी जो बनाता है प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर, ही इज लाइक स्टीव जॉब्स, कि अचानक से कोई आइडिया दिमाग में आया, बोला ये आइडिया तो बहुत ही बेहतरीन है और बना दिया. ऐसा नहीं होता. Never works. So there is this theory of fake Steve Jobs. I'll talk about that. Fake Steve Jobs, right? So you never do that. And what is the difference between an artist and an entrepreneur or a product manager? Can somebody tell me what is the difference between an artist, a product manager, or a founder? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me what is the difference between an artist, a product manager, or a founder? Or मतलब basically artist, product manager and founder are together. Artist or product manager / founder. Can somebody tell me what is the difference there? जल्दी जल्दी बताओ यार, जल्दी बताओ. Yes, Siddharth has genuinely given the right answer. Absolutely. Artists, देखो, art अपने, if you make one painting, right? Even if one customer buys it, right? It's good enough. It's art. Right? Or even if you like it, it's completely fine. Right? Second problem is, if Steve Jobs would have built the iPhone and only 100 people would have bought it, do you think he would have been legendary? Do you think we would have called him legendary? If Steve Jobs would have made the iPhone and only 100 people would have bought it, do you think we would have called him the legendary artist that he is? That is the point. कि MVPs की वैल्यू तभी है जब तुम्हारे कस्टमर्स आके तुम्हें बोले कि हाँ देयर इज वैल्यू. मेक सेंस? यहां तक क्लैरिटी है? बहुत अमेजिंग, बहुत अमेजिंग. ठीक है. सो द स्टार्टअप वर्ल्ड इज वेरी अनफॉरगिविंग, एंड आई थिंक वन ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इज दैट स्टीव जॉब इज पेंटेड एज अ मैजिकल आर्टिस्ट, एंड he just had to figure out how to sell a phone to millions of people. But that is the beauty of it. He had to iterate insane number of times. Okay, I'll give you a very interesting example. How many of you remember the first iPhone? How many of you remember the first iPhone that was launched in 2008? Give me a yes, yes, yes. Do you know, from a product standpoint, only from a product standpoint, it was a shitty product. I am sorry, I am saying something very controversial, but it was a shitty product. You'll ask me why. You'll ask me why. अब मुझे बताओ why the first iPhone was a shitty product. Can somebody tell me why the first iPhone was a shitty product? बताओ बताओ. अरे यार ऐसा तो मत करो, इतनी मेहनत से तुम्हें मैं पढ़ाने की कोशिश करता हूं. जवाब तो दोगे ना? जवाब दो, जवाब जल्दी जल्दी. iPhone was a shitty, the first iPhone was a shitty product. Why? Amazing. Samruti has given a very good point. No app store. Actually, there were 2-3 points. The first point, there was no 3G, and lot of phones at that point had 3G. So practically from a network capability, iPhone was not the best, right? Second, it only had one carrier, which was kaun sa? AT&T. You remember na, AT&T as a carrier. AT&T was there. But agar tum wo carrier pe nahi ho, you effectively have to buy another phone. You cannot use the iPhone, right? So the first iPhone was just an MVP, right? Even though from a design perspective, it was like insanely well made, right? But from a feature perspective, it was not that good. And eventually, आज हमें लगता है कि iPhone का experience is truly magical, right? So MVPs should be done fast. So whenever if you are in your organization, Nitya, Subhashish, Manik, AB, Vaishnavi, whosoever wants to become an APM, You have to understand that whenever you design an MVP or an assignment or something like that, it has to be executable in a certain period of time. If you're not building something like that, I'm sorry, it's not an MVP. Yahan tak clarity hai? Give me a yes or no. Carrier basically means Airtel, Jio, etc. Sandeep. Basically, telephone carrier, cellular carrier basically. ठीक है? अब one of the interesting things that I want you to learn, right, is that अब मुझे ये पता करना है यार कि प्रॉब्लम स्पेस को तो मैंने किसी तरीके से आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया, राइट? अब मुझे उस प्रॉब्लम स्पेस के अंदर जो एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, राइट, उसको मैं ब्रेक डाउन कैसे करूंगा? हाउ विल आई ब्रेक डाउन द सब प्रॉब्लम्स इन द प्रॉब्लम स्पेस? ठीक है? द फंडामेंट, और यहां पे अक्षय कुमार का एक बहुत फेमस डायलॉग है, जोर जोर से बता दो सबको स्कीमें। ये मैं अब एक बहुत अच्छी स्कीम तुम सबको बताने वाला हूं कि कैसे पता चलता है कि प्रॉब्लम स्पेस के अंदर ट्रू प्रॉब्लम्स कौन सी हैं। ठीक है? ओके, कस्टमर्स आर also not likely to serve their problem space needs on a silver platter. Let me ask you this one more question. ठीक है? If I ask you today, any of you guys who is in the chat, what do you want in a great car? If you want to buy a car, can somebody give me the reasons that why should you buy, what should you look in a great car? I'll give you the first reason. Probably mileage. Mileage is from my side. What else? What else? माइलेज के बाद अच्छी कार में क्या क्या होना चाहिए अगर आपको खरीदनी है? कैन समबडी टेल मी व्हाट एल्स अदर देन माइलेज? बताओ बताओ बताओ। माइलेज तो मैंने बता दिया, और क्या क्या होना चाहिए? आई विल प्रूव समथिंग राइट नाउ, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। ओके, सेफ्टी, पावर, फेयर इनफ, और कंफर्ट, सेम चीज। सेफ्टी सेफ्टी सेफ्टी, फेयर इनफ, ओके ओके, आई सेफ्टी, और अच्छा लुक, वैल्यू फॉर मनी, सेफ्टी, इकोनॉमिकल स्पेस। अब इससे तुम्हें क्या पता चलता है? एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज पता चल रही है। आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नोटिस्ड, यू रियलाइज दैट वॉट एवर यू गाइज आर टॉकिंग अबाउट आर इसेंशियली 3-4 थिंग्स। सेफ्टी होनी चाहिए, कंफर्ट होना चाहिए, माइलेज होनी चाहिए, पावर होनी चाहिए, राइट? यही बात कर रहे हो ना? इसके अदर देन तो कोई यूनिक तो किसी ने नहीं बताया, किसी ने कुछ बहुत यूनिक तो नहीं बताया, राइट? व्हाई डिड दिस हैपन? Can somebody tell me why, in spite of you 10-20 people who are essentially trying to solve this problem, the answer is very generalized? Mayank is right, the answer is extremely generalized कि हाँ यार, अगर मेरे से भी पूछोगे ना, ऐसा नहीं हो कि मैं भगवान हूं कि मैं तो कुछ और ही बोलूंगा। The reason is, whenever you ask a customer without giving them an actual experience, right, that what is the product like, right, they are only going to tell you things which are on top of their mind. And generally there are only 3-4 things, उससे ज्यादा नहीं होती, right? So what we essentially do, we do the other way around. हम क्या करते हैं? हम मार्केट से कोई उसका existing product उठा लेते हैं. Like for example, if I tomorrow tell you, okay, now I show you Santro as a car, and then tell you कि मुझे बताओ इसके अंदर आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है, ट्रस्ट मी, यू आर गोइंग टू गिव मी 20 रीजंस कि गाड़ी का इंटीरियर अच्छा नहीं है, कलर अच्छा नहीं है, इसका एसी अच्छा नहीं चलता है, इसकी बूट स्पेस बेकार है, इसका ये अच्छा नहीं, इसका सस्पेंशन अच्छा नहीं है. The moment I actually showed you a car for you to essentially pick it across, you gave me 20 reasons. But on the contrary, if I didn't give you a car and just told you what is the good thing that you expect in a car that you essentially want, you gave me 3-4 reasons, right? Now, what is a better approach for me to deeply understand consumer requirements? Can somebody tell me? अब दोनों में से बेटर मेथड कौन सा है? पहला मेथड जिसमें मैं जाके पूछ लूं कस्टमर से कि यार आप बताओ आपको क्या चाहिए, या दूसरा मेथड जहां पे मैं बोलूं कि ओके दिस इज अ कार, टेल मी हाउ व्हाई डजंट इट वर्क फॉर यू? व्हाट इज द बेटर मेथड? फर्स्ट मेथड और सेकंड मेथड? जल्दी बताओ, फर्स्ट मेथड और यस. सो यू गाइज आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट, right? So what the great method for you to figure out what improvement do you want to do in WhatsApp? तो कई बार questions नहीं आता ये product management में कि which is your favorite product, right? And how do you want to improve it? The ability to do that is actually look into the good product and probably take it to the end user and try to understand what is the problem, right? So what did you understand? That we are using the existing solution space or existing solutions to come up with the problems in the problem space. Ye clarity aayi. So this is how you figure out problems. Whenever you get a product sense question that I want to improve Google Maps, what will you do? You will actually go to Google Maps, try to understand what are the problems the current consumers are facing, and then come up with problem statements. So this is how you will improve your प्रोडक्ट सेंस. यहां पे बात क्लैरिटी है, यहां सब क्लैरिटी आ गई. इज एवरीबडी विद मी? गिव अ यस और नो. बात समझ में आई? Give me a yes, yes, yes in the chat. I want everyone to give me a yes in the chat if everybody understood. We leverage the existing solution space to build the problems in the problem space. बात समझ में आई? It is harder for them to essentially talk about abstract benefits or their relative importance because they are fraught with inaccuracies. यहां तक क्लैरिटी आ गई? ठीक है. One way to interview customers and observing their existing products, such techniques are called contextual inquiry or customer discovery. ये बात क्लैरिटी आई? इसकी बात समझ में आई? यहां तक सब मेरे साथ हैं? Everybody is aligned with me? Everybody has understood what I am trying to say? ठीक है, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. ठीक है, यहां तक तो हमने कर लिया. Again, same example. If you show a new product or a design, they can actually tell you what they like, what they don't like. They can compare it with other solutions and pros and cons. Customers will tell you the pros and cons, and then you will be able to build a value proposition set. ठीक है, यहां तक सब मेरे साथ हैं. Now we will do some kind of a very basic example. एक एग्जाम्पल भी करेंगे ताकि आपको ज्यादा क्लैरिटी आए. ठीक है, यहां तक सब मेरे साथ है? एवरीबडी इज अलाइंड विद मी? कुछ ऐसा थॉट तो नहीं है जो समझ में नहीं आया? अगर नहीं समझ में आया तो बाद में पूछेंगे. ठीक है, एवरीबडी इज विद मी टिल नाउ? प्लीज जिसने वीडियो लाइक नहीं किया, प्लीज मेरे हाथ में हाथ जोड़ रहा हूं, वीडियो तब तक लाइक कर लो. फिर हम अब एक बहुत अच्छी एग्जाम्पल करने वाले हैं. ठीक है, नाउ लेट मी जस्ट क्विकली शेयर माई स्क्रीन एंड आई वॉन्ट एंटायर स्क्रीन. ठीक है, and I want this thing. ठीक है, not this. Sheets. ठीक है, एक मिनट. I'm just. Is my screen visible to all of you? Are you able to see my spreadsheet which I have just opened across? Just yes, yes बताओ मेरे को. If you are able to see the spreadsheet. Are you able to see the spreadsheet? Everybody give me a yes, yes, yes in the chat. That's all. Now, for example, your problem statement is build a new tax return filing app. ठीक है? Everybody is able to see what I am writing. क्या मैं इसको थोड़ा बड़ा कर दूं? Should I make it slightly larger or is it visible to everyone? Is it visible to everyone? Everybody is able to read it? Give me a yes, yes, yes. That's all. जल्दी करो यार. ये I want you to be very, very, very critical about this. Give me a yes, yes, yes. Everybody's हाँ ठीक है. That is my problem statement. What is my current solution? Okay, which is the best solution currently in the market? Let's think of clear tax as a solution. Clear tax के बारे में सबने सुना है? Clear tax. Has everybody heard of clear tax? Has everybody heard of clear tax? Give me a yes, yes, yes if you have heard of it. ठीक है. Now what we will do is we will take it to a customer and try to understand its benefits or pain points, whatever it is. ठीक है, तो चलो first benefit I will write. ठीक है, and now all of you guys have to tell me what are the benefits or what are the things that something clear. पहला है helps me automate filling of tax forms itself. You must have seen the clear tax as a product essentially also gives you rent receipts and stuff like that where everything is automated, right? So the first value prop that comes from clear tax is helps me automate filling of tax forms itself. What else is there? अब second value prop तुम बताओ. Second value prop. What is the second value prop that you would essentially see in clear tax? जल्दी बताओ, जल्दी बताओ, जल्दी बताओ. ओके, टाइम सेविंग तो हो गया ना, वो तो मैंने लिख दिया. नित्या, टाइम सेविंग इज देयर. व्हाट एल्स? व्हाट एल्स? व्हाट एल्स? व्हाट एल्स? कैन समबडी टेल मी व्हाट एल्स? Reduces my tax liabilities. It tells you where to invest money. It tells you where to invest money, and it automatically reduces your tax liabilities. ठीक है? What is the third thing it does? Anytime accessible. बिल्कुल, not like a CA. ठीक है? What is fourth? What else? What else? What else? What else? और क्या क्या हो सकता है? और बताओ, और बताओ, और बताओ, और बताओ. Saves errors. एक्यूरेसी इंप्रूव हो जाती है. ठीक है? दिस इज करेक्ट. एब्सोल्युटली. तो हमने क्या किया? वी इफेक्टिवली केम आउट विद सर्टेन बेनिफिट्स और सर्टेन पेन पॉइंट्स. राइट नाउ हम क्या करेंगे? लेट्स अज्यूम देयर आर 5 6 7 8 मेजर पेन पॉइंट्स. राइट, अब इन मेजर पेन पॉइंट्स में बहुत सारे पेन पॉइंट्स ऐसे होंगे which are kind of similar to each other. Like for example, saves errors accuracy is very similar to helps me automate the filling of tax form itself. So I can essentially say that my actual thematic benefit is saves time and effort. Isn't that my थीमेटिक बेनिफिट? मैंने 1 और 2 को इसमें कवर कर लिया. 1 और 2 को नहीं, 1 और 4 को मैंने इसमें कवर कर लिया. ठीक है? दैट इज इक्वल टू बेसिकली समथिंग लाइक दैट. सेकंड क्या होगा? रिड्यूसेस माय टैक्स लायबिलिटीज. ठीक है? तो इसको मैंने एक सेकंड थीम में डाल दिया और बोला कि एक्सेसिबिलिटी को मैंने थर्ड थीम में डाल दिया. यहां तक क्लैरिटी है कि मैंने क्या किया? आई गॉट लाइक 20 डिफरेंट फीडबैक्स from all of you guys, and then I tried to merge them, that which are the feedbacks which are common and can I make a theme out of it. Right, like if 5 people told me that it saves my time, I would say the theme is saving time. ठीक है? यहां तक क्लैरिटी है? Everybody is aligned with me. So what I did, I took an existing product and I just started noting down their pain points, their pluses and their minuses, and I wrote it down talking to my target customer, whosoever it is. यहां तक सबको क्लैरिटी हो गई. And once I wrote it down, then I merged these pain points into themes. Here ki basically these 20 points effectively reduced to 5 points. 5 points which I essentially want to solve for. यहां तक क्लैरिटी है? Is everybody aligned with me? Give me a yes, yes, yes. Give me a yes, yes, yes. जल्दी 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 करो करो करो. शाबाश शाबाश. ठीक है. नाउ अब मेरे को पता चल गया कि मेरे न्यू प्रोडक्ट में थीम्स क्या होनी चाहिए. आई डोंट नो द सोल्यूशन येट. मेरे को सोल्यूशन नहीं पता कि मैं क्या बनाऊंगा, बट मुझे इतना पता चल गया कि थीम्स क्या होनी चाहिए मेरी. ठीक है? तो सेव्स टाइम एंड एफर्ट. ठीक है? रिड्यूसेस माय टैक्स लायबिलिटीज, एक्सेसिबिलिटी. ठीक है? अब मैं कुछ तुम लोगों के नाम लिख रहा हूं. ठीक है? सबसे ऊपर मैं लिख रहा हूं नित्या, सेकंड में लिख रहा हूं मयंक पराशर. ठीक है? थर्ड में लिख रहा हूं समृद्धि. ठीक है? फोर्थ में लिख रहा हूं मयंक मदान. ठीक है? एक्चुअल एग्जांपल कर रहे हैं अब नित्या अपनी लाइफस्टाइल के हिसाब से तुम्हारे लिए टाइम एंड एफर्ट की वैल्यू हाई यस है या नो है? ये बताओ मुझे कि अगर तुम्हारा कोई प्रोडक्ट कल को, इफ यू वर्क एज अ प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर एंड इट सेव्स योर टाइम्स एंड एफर्ट इन फाइलिंग टैक्स, वुड यू वांट इट, वुड यू नॉट वांट इट? ओनली नित्या विल आंसर. नित्या, yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Do you want tomorrow, once you will start earning great, मतलब पैसा अच्छा कमाओगे, जो भी करोगे, मेरे लिए तो उतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं, मैं बहुत पैसे कमाता नहीं हूं, बट सत्य तो यही है. अच्छा, नित्या को चाहिए. ठीक है, ओके. मयंक पराशर, would you want it, would you not want it? Give me a yes or no. If there is a product which helps you save your time and effort in putting taxes, Mayank, would you want it or not? जल्दी बताओ, फास्ट 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 फास्ट. मयंक को भी चाहिए, ठीक है. समृद्धि, वुड यू वांट इट और नॉट? समृद्धि, जल्दी बताओ. ठीक है, समृद्धि को डेफिनेटली यस, फेयर इनफ. एंड मयंक मदान भी मेरे को यस बोल रहा है, ठीक है. अब सेकंड, रिड्यूस माय टैक्स लायबिलिटीज. their answers might change. For example, somebody who is currently an aspiring PM, right? एस्पायरिंग पीएम है और वो अभी पैसे नहीं कमा रहा या इंटर्न है, तो डू यू थिंक उसको बहुत ज्यादा फर्क पड़ेगा कि मेरी टैक्स लायबिलिटीज कम हो जाए, क्योंकि मैं 7 लाख रुपए तो कमा ही नहीं रहा ना. आई एम नॉट इवन मेकिंग 7 लाख रुपीज. सो नित्या, फॉर एग्जाम्पल योर सैलरी इज लेस देन 7 लाख रुपीज, ठीक है, वेर यू डोंट हैव टू पे टैक्स. दिस essentially doesn't become important for you then, correct? So I can write no for Nitya. Mayank Parashar, for example, you are earning 30 lakh rupees, so it becomes yes for you. समृद्धि, she is earning 50 लाख रुपीस, तो उसके लिए भी यस हो जाएगा. मयंक मदान मेरी तरह ही पैसे नहीं कमाता और नित्या मेरी तरह पैसे नहीं कमाती, तो उनके लिए भी नो हो जाएगा. साथ में श्रवण भी लिख देते हैं, ठीक है, डन. श्रवण को भी चाहिए यस और नित्य वाले का नो है, ठीक है. नित्या कह रही है कि भैया आपने मेरी सैलरी ही कम कर दी. मैं बोला बहुत बढ़िया, चल कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है. अच्छा, थर्ड थिंग, एक्सेसिबिलिटी में हम क्या करेंगे? एक्सेसिबिलिटी में नित्या, वुड यू लाइक एन ऐप which is essentially accessible to you at any point of time? बताओ. तो yes, I think Nitya would say yes. Mayank Parashar would say yes. समृद्धि would say यार मैं I use it once a year, ठीक है, तो probably no, not really. इतना accessibility मेरे लिए इतना important नहीं है, ठीक है. मयंक मदान might say yes. श्रवण will definitely say no, क्योंकि इतने पैसे ही नहीं है. तो अब क्या हुआ? अब logically, if I take this sample set, my sample set is of 5 people. According to this sample set, all 5 want this, only 2 want this, only 3 want this, right? यहां तक क्लैरिटी आई. इससे तुम्हें बेनिफिट की वैल्यू, अभी हम फीचर पे आए ही नहीं है कि फीचर क्या बनेगा, फीचर छोड़ दो. फ्रॉम अ बेनिफिट परस्पेक्टिव, which is the most important benefit that you need to solve for? That is 1. So the most important benefit would be, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So were you able to prioritize basically from looking from a solution space to see what is valuable in the problem space? मेरी बात ये सबको समझ में आई? ये बात क्लियर हो गई? what we tried to solve today, ये अभी तक हम सॉल्यूशन की तरफ आए ही नहीं है कि सॉल्यूशन कैसे बनेगा, वो छोड़ दो, बनेगा कैसे. ये क्लैरिटी आ गई कि मुझे ये समझ में आ गया कि ये 3 चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये 3 चीजें तो बनानी पड़ेंगी. मेक सेंस? यहां तक क्लैरिटी है? कैन समबडी गिव मी एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग? सब कुछ क्लियर है? बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. नाउ वी विल गो बैक टू अवर स्लाइड्स, ठीक है. मैं इसको ऐड टू स्ट्रीम करता हूं, इसको मैं हटा देता हूं, ठीक है, ठीक है. अब हम एक छोटा सा क्विज करें. डू यू वांट टू डू अ क्विज? छोटा सा क्विज करें, ठीक है. चलो वो बाद में करेंगे, अभी हम आगे चलते हैं, ठीक है. चलो मैं वी विल डू दैट क्विज लेटर, ठीक है. फिर मैं ये वो एज एन एग्जांपल ही दे दूंगा तुम्हें, ठीक है. विच कस्टमर्स शुड यू गो आफ्टर फर्स्ट, राइट? अब नेक्स्ट हमारा प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट है कि हमें कौन से कस्टमर्स को पहले रीच आउट करना चाहिए, राइट? बहुत सारे पीएम्स इसमें गलती करते हैं. बहुत सारे पीएम्स क्या सोचते हैं, वो बोलते हैं कि अगर मैं हार्डेस्ट मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट कस्टमर के लिए प्रोडक्ट बना दूंगा तो यार इजी वाला तो खरीद ही लेगा ना. अगर बहुत अच्छे कस्टमर के लिए मैंने सारी चीजें बना दी, सब कुछ बढ़िया बना दिया, तो ऑटोमेटिकली इजी वाला तो अपने आप कर देगा, राइट? यही डिफरेंस है. You should always go for people who are most desperate, that we have called out. इसका एक एग्जांपल है. Can somebody give me an example of which product? There's a very famous product which you might have used all your life, right? That was built in a way that it essentially solves the problems only for deep graphic designers, right? उन्होंने कभी ये प्रायोरिटाइज ही नहीं किया. उन्होंने हमेशा सोचा कि यार मैं इसके लिए बना दूंगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली, लेकिन वो कभी स्केल नहीं कर पाया, एंड इट ऑलवेज बिकेम एन एंटरप्राइज प्रोडक्ट. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट एडोब एक्रोबैट और एडोब फोटोशॉप. बहुत बड़ी गलती की थी ये फोटोशॉप ने, जिन्होंने क्या बोला, उन्होंने बोला कि हम यार फोटोशॉप इतना अच्छा बना देंगे कि यार आसान वाले यूजर्स तो यूज ही कर लेंगे। लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या हुई, उन्होंने कस्टमर्स उस पर्सोना को देख के बनाया और वो पर्सोना को, बाकी पर्सोना को उतनी वैल्यू चाहिए ही नहीं थी। एंड व्हाट हैपेंड, देयर वाज अ वेरी गुड स्कोप फॉर अ प्रोडक्ट लाइक कैनवा टू कम इन, and Canva came in. They said, I don't really care if I'm making that many things for that kind of a desperate user. My user actually doesn't even want it. And yes, and they built it for all. So you always reach out to the people who are most desperate, who are even okay completely कि तुम्हारा MVP shitty है, क्योंकि you know that your MVP is shitty. Right? Make sense? यहां तक clarity है? ठीक है? Having the most desperate customers, and so lot of times I talk to founders, I really get push them towards who is your most desperate customer and how do you talk to them. And what I define as easy desperate is if you would want to sell a simple piece of software to someone for $1,000 a month, right, and they're taking 6 months to make that decision, that's not a desperate company. अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि तुम्हारे प्रोडक्ट को तुम किसी एंटरप्राइज कस्टमर के पास ले जा रहे हो और बाद में तुम उसको 1 साल लग रहा है डिसीजन लेने के लिए, sorry, that's not desperate. Please leave. Please leave. Right? Don't reach out to that customer. ठीक है? अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, शुड यू डिस्काउंट और मेक अ फ्री प्रोडक्ट? क्या ये करना चाहिए हमें डिस्कवरी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जब भी तुम कुछ बनाते हो? कैन समबडी गिव मी एन आंसर ऑफ शुड यू डिस्काउंट और बिल्ड अ फ्री प्रोडक्ट? बताओ बताओ, कैन शुड यू डिस्काउंट और मेक अ फ्री प्रोडक्ट? बताओ बताओ. Okay, why Siddharth, why do you think that you should make a free product? I essentially told you, okay, freemium, fair enough. Freemium, I think, okay. तो यार देखो, मैं तुम्हें एक छोटी सी एग्जांपल्स देता हूं, ठीक है? सबसे पहले तो एड्स और ये सब मॉडल बहुत ही बेकार है, मतलब कभी नहीं करने चाहिए, ठीक है? कोर वैल्यू तो बेसिकली जो जेनेफिट्स का फाउंडर, किसने जेनेफिट्स का नाम सुना है? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो दैट जेनेफिट्स एज अ कंपनी? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो जेनेफिट्स एज अ कंपनी? ठीक है, तो जेनेफिट्स इसेंशियली मेक्स सीआरएम्स फॉर स्पास. कितने लौंडे हैं यहाँ पे जो स्पा जाते हैं? नहीं यार, मैं बस मजे ले रहा हूं तुम सबके. चलो कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है. तो इट्स अ सीआरएम फॉर स्पास, बेसिकली कि अगर स्पा को अपना एक मैनेजमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर चाहिए तो जेनेफिट्स बेसिकली उस पे बनाता है. उसके फाउंडर ने क्या किया, ही एसेंशियली डिड अ डील विद एडब्ल्यूएस एंड सेड कि अगर आप हमारा सॉफ्टवेयर लोगे, अगर हमारा सॉफ्टवेयर लोगे तो वी विल इसेंशियली गिव यू डिस्काउंट ऑन एडब्ल्यूएस क्रेडिट्स आल्सो. अब क्या हुआ, अब इसेंशियली बिकॉज दे आर गिविंग क्रेडिट्स ऑन एडब्ल्यूएस, उसके फाउंडर ने जाके पता क्या बोला, फाउंडर ने जाके कस्टमर्स को बोला कि यार कि ओके, आई विल गिव द प्रोडक्ट ऑन दिस प्राइस, लेकिन देयर इज अ डिस्काउंट विच इज गिवन बाय थर्ड पार्टी सॉफ्टवेयर, राइट, एंड दैट इज ओनली वैलिड टिल 30th, राइट? Completely up to you, मुझे कोई पॉइंट नहीं है, बट यू विल मिस दोस डिस्काउंट्स. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड, ही क्रिएटेड अ वैल्यू स्ट्रक्चर. He created a value structure. Now if he created a value structure, अब internally क्या हुआ, everybody started remembering, oh he has also given that discount, he has also given that discount, so everybody aligned कि हमें ये deal 30 days में ही close करनी है. और उसने क्या किया, उसने कुछ भी नहीं किया, उसने बोला कि अब तो ये डील क्लोज होगी होगी, लेट मी जस्ट प्राइस माय प्रोडक्ट 15% हायर. हो गया, मेरी कॉस्ट तो बच गई, right? So he just priced his product 15% higher and said that AWS is giving you a discount. I effectively made money and I built that urgency, right? So not only the product had value, he also created a structure of value around the product that people said that we are desperate, we want this because it's adding value in other ecosystems also. So discounting is not a very good behavior, right? That's what I taught you, right? So initially, if there isn't enough value, right, then figure out the value. But don't think you have to offer something completely free. There are exceptions to it. लेकिन 99% cases में doesn't work, right? ठीक है. फिर है how to set up metrics, right? अब मैं बेसिकली क्या चाहता हूं कि इट्स ऑलरेडी 1 hour 10 minutes, आई डोंट वांट यू टू डू, बहुत ओवर ड्रेन नहीं होना चाहिए, हम इसको नेक्स्ट टाइम कवर करेंगे। अभी मैं क्या करना चाहता हूं, अभी मैं स्पेसिफिकली इतना बोलना चाहता हूं कि आई विल, और लास्ट टाइम जो मैंने असाइनमेंट दिया था वो असाइनमेंट भी मैंने सिर्फ 4 लोगों का मुझे मिला है, मयंक पराशर का मिला है, गौरव दारा का मिला है, कुछ कुछ लोगों का मिला है। आई वांट पीपल प्लीज स्टार्ट राइटिंग ऑन लिंक्डइन। मैं कितना बोल रहा हूं यार, कितनी मेहनत कर रहा हूं तुम सबके लिए यार, मेरे तुम बिलीव नहीं करोगे कि मैं कितना टाइम स्पेंड कर रहा हूं जस्ट टू मेक दिस। आस्क पीपल अराउंड मी, आई एम डूइंग दिस, प्लीज। हाँ, आई विल गिव शुभाशीष, मैं आपको वो करूंगा, लेकिन मेरे को 4 ही मिले। इफ देर आर 40 पीपल इन द कॉल, आई एटलीस्ट नीड 20 असाइनमेंट्स, राइट, सो दैट आई कैन टेल यू विच इज बेटर और विच इज गुड, राइट। तो यार प्लीज, सबसे पहले तो यार सीरियस होके वीडियोस को अटेंड करो, ठीक है, जेन्युइनली करो, एंड आई रियली वांट ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस टू मेक सम सेंस आउट ऑफ इट। मैं जो तुम्हें पढ़ाता हूं ना, ये बहुत मेहनत से मैंने पिछले 9 साल में सीखा है। आई नो यू गाइस, क्योंकि मैं आपको सच बता रहा हूं, आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी पीपल हैव टिल नाउ आस्क्ड मी कि आपका कोर्स कब चालू हो रहा है, और फिर उसके बाद जब कोर्स चालू होगा उसके बाद तुम ही लोग आके मेरे को बोलोगे कि भैया आप इतना चार्ज क्यों कर रहे हो। अब जब मैं फ्री में पढ़ा रहा हूं तो तुम फाइट नहीं मार रहे हो। अगर मेरे को 4 असाइनमेंट टोटल मिल रही है, राइट, 4 असाइनमेंट के बाद 3 बंदे लिंक्डइन पे पोस्ट कर रहे हैं, तो फिर मैं क्यों आके यहाँ पे पढ़ाऊं। मुझे आप खुद लॉजिकली सोचो ना यार, मेरे पास और भी तो काम है। तो मैं यही बोल रहा हूं कि अगर तुम्हें जेन्युइनली मेरे एफर्ट की वैल्यू है, राइट, तो प्लीज एंड प्लीज, what I essentially want you to guys to do is write on LinkedIn about it, write, and please share it with as many people as much as possible. बहुत बढ़िया यार मानिक, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी दैट योर आर्टिकल वाज रेड बाय अ वॉटन प्रोफेसर। सो all I am just trying to put across is if you genuinely put effort ना, I am promising you कि यार कि तुम्हारा प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर रोल में हो जाएगा। लेकिन मेरी बात मानो, अगर तुम मुझे अगर अपना किसी भी तरीके से एट वॉट एवर केपेबिलिटी यू कॉल मी ए गुरु और वट एवर, राइट, वेर आई एम पुटिंग एफर्ट, तो प्लीज मेरी बात को मानो। सिर्फ ज्ञान अर्जित करने से तुम अच्छे पीएम नहीं बनोगे कि बातें सुन ली और मेरा हो गया, नहीं, ऐसे नहीं होता। मैं अभी भी बता रहा हूं। फिर उसके बाद ही तुम लोग फिर मेरे पास बार बार लिंक्डइन पे ये मैसेज आते रहते हैं, सर मैं तुम्हें एक चीज बताता हूं, लेट मी जस्ट शो यू वन मोर थिंग अब, और एंड यू विल देन टेल मी कि यार मुझे बताओ मेरे लिए मैं इन लोगों को कैसे रिस्पॉन्ड करूं। गिव मी अ सेकंड, मैं आपको शेयर करता हूं अपनी स्क्रीन, 1 मिनट, ठीक है। ये मेरी लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल है, ठीक है, मैं एक बार लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल पे जाता हूं, ठीक है। मेरी प्रोफाइल सबको दिख रही है? कैन आई जस्ट, इज एवरीबॉडी एबल टू सी माय प्रोफाइल? गिव मी अ यस यस यस। एक मिनट, आई एम जस्ट ब्रिंगिंग दैट अक्रॉस। इज एवरीबॉडी एबल टू सी माय प्रोफाइल? अब मुझे बताओ मैं इन मेल्स का क्या रिस्पॉन्ड करूं। हाय, हाय श्रवण, अबाउट जॉब रिक्वायरमेंट्स, हाय भैया, ये है, ये है, ये सारी चीजें मैं पढ़ा चुका हूं यार। मतलब यू टेल मी एपीएफ, देखो कोई बंदा, मतलब मैं आपसे बस यही समझना चाहता हूं कि जब मेरे को इतने लोग रीच आउट कर रहे हैं, उसके बावजूद मैं हर संडे आके आई एम ट्राइंग माई लेवल बेस्ट फॉर यू गाइज टू इफेक्टिवली अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट इज। तो यार कम से कम मेरे लिए भी थोड़ी इज्जत रखो। क्या मैं कुछ बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूं? टेल मी यस और नो, खुद ही बताओ, इज माई एक्सपेक्टेशन टू मच फ्रॉम यू गाइज? जस्ट टेल मी यस और नो, दिल से बताना। अरे रिस्पॉन्ड भी तो कर दो जनता। कर तो दो यार, यस और नो ही बोल दो, कुछ तो बोल ही दो, ठीक है। तो अगले वीक हमारा लेक्चर नहीं है, बट मेरा असाइनमेंट क्या है, मैं फिर रिपीट कर रहा हूं। इस लेक्चर में 33-34 लोग थे, मुझे कम से कम 15 लिंक्डइन पोस्ट चाहिए कि तुमने क्या सीखा इस लेक्चर से, ठीक है। सेकंड चीज मेरे को चाहिए कि आई एम गिविंग यू वन मोर असाइनमेंट, और मुझे इस असाइनमेंट का आंसर चाहिए, ठीक है। मैं ये असाइनमेंट जब आपके साथ शेयर कर रहा हूं, आपके साथ मैंने ऑलरेडी वो, 1 मिनट रुक जाओ, मैं 2 मिनट ऊपर जाता हूं, मैंने अपनी वो भी शेयर की थी ना, 1 सेकंड दे दो यार। हाँ, ये मेरी वो है, क्या कहते हैं, पीपीटी का पूरा वो पीपीटी ऊपर पड़ी हुई है, ठीक है। तो पीपीटी ये करने, थर्ड थिंग मैं क्या कह रहा हूं, मैं कम्युनिटी बना रहा हूं, और जिसमें जितने लोग तुम, एंड यू आर ऑल माई, बेसिकली तुम सब मेरे एम्बेसडर्स हो। जब मैं कम्युनिटी बनाऊंगा तो तुम सारे लोग इसमें ऐड करोगे, तुम मुझे बता भी सकते हो कि मुझे क्या क्या करना चाहिए, ठीक है। यहां तक बात क्लियर है? ठीक है। अच्छा, वन थिंग दैट आई वांट टू टेल यू टुडे इज कि everybody is aligned with me, सब मेरे साथ मेहनत करेंगे. Give me an honest answer. You will like, you will share, you will do everything what I'll say, and I promise without spending even a single rupee you will be great product managers. ठीक है? तो अगले वीक लेक्चर नहीं है, मैं लिंक्डइन पे डाल दूंगा. नेक्स्ट वीक आई एम नॉट हियर. ठीक है? बट बाय देन आई वांट ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस टू डू द असाइनमेंट दैट आई हैव सेंट अक्रॉस. सेकंड थिंग, यू विल स्टार्ट वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स. आई नीड, जो मैंने क्रेडिट ऑन यूपीआई वाली प्रॉब्लम थी, उसके मुझे कम से कम 15 और असाइनमेंट्स चाहिए. तभी मैं अपना कोर्स भी लॉन्च करूंगा, तभी मैं वो फ्री कोर्स लॉन्च करूंगा. दैट द ओनली टाइम दैट आई विल लॉन्च अ फ्री कोर्स एंड बियॉन्ड दैट गिव यू द ऑल द असाइनमेंट्स दैट आई हैव विद मी इज व्हेन यू विल पुट एफर्ट. ठीक है? तो अदर देन दैट आई एम सुपर हैप्पी. हाउ टू फाइंड द क्विज, मैं अभी वो भेज रहा हूं ना आपको. एक सेकंड ले लो ना, मैं अभी ये स्लाइड्स भेज रहा हूं. स्लाइड्स ले लो यार तुम सब. ठीक है? ठीक है, मैं स्लाइड्स दे रहा हूं. तो हियर इट इज, ये स्लाइड्स है. ये स्लाइड्स कॉपी कर लो, फ्री है, मतलब पब्लिक है. ठीक है? थैंक यू फोक्स, आई होप यू लाइक द सेशन. ठीक है? गिव मी ए, जस्ट मुझे बताओ अच्छा लगा, अभी तक तुम्हें मजा आ रहा है. डिड यू एंजॉय द लास्ट 3 वीक्स? प्लीज, इट इज इन द स्लाइड्स. अर्नव, इज इट्स इन द स्लाइड्स. ठीक है? डिड यू लाइक द सेशन टिल नाउ? गिव मी a yes, yes, yes. Please share with everyone as much as possible. Please like the channel. Please give your comments. What did you like? What did you dislike? Let's try to improve there. And thank you very much for coming here, guys. I am super happy. God bless you. And from my side, I have all the love and affection for all of you guys. Amazing. ठीक है? तो 15 posts in the next 1 week. ठीक है? Done. Amazing. Bye bye guys. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट टू नेक्स्ट वीक. मिलते हैं. चलो बाय.